There was once a Velveteen Rabbit, and in the beginning he was really splendid. He was fat and bunchy, as a rabbit should be. His coat was spotted brown and white. He had real thread whiskers, and his ears were lined with pink sateen. On Christmas morning, he sat wedged in the top of the boy's stocking with a sprig of holly between his paws. There were other things in the stocking, nuts and oranges and a toy engine, and chocolate almonds and a clockwork mouse, but the rabbit was quite the best of all. For at least 2 hours the boy loved him, and then aunts and uncles came to dinner. And there was a great rustling of tissue paper and unwrapping of parcels. And in the excitement of looking at all the new presents, the Velveteen Rabbit was forgotten. For a long time he lived in the toy cupboard or on the nursery floor, and no one thought very much about him. He was naturally shy, and being only made of velveteen, some of the more expensive toys quite snubbed him. The mechanical toys snubbed him. They were very superior, and looked down upon everyone else. The rabbit could not claim to be a model of anything, for he didn't know that real rabbits existed. He thought they all looked just like him. The oldest and wisest of the toys was the Skin Horse. He had lived in the nursery longer than any of the others. And he was very wise. He was so old that his brown coat was bald in patches, and most of the hairs in his tail had been pulled out to string bead necklaces. But he was kind, and all the toys respected him. "What is real?" asked the rabbit one day. "Does it mean having things that buzz inside you and a stick-out handle?" "Real isn't how you are made," said the Skin Horse. "It's a thing that happens to you. When a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you, then you become real." "Does it hurt?" asked the rabbit. "Sometimes," said the Skin Horse, for he was always truthful. "When you are real, you don't mind being hurt." "Does it happen all at once, like being wound up?" he asked, "or bit by bit?" "It doesn't happen all at once," said the Skin Horse. It takes a long time. That's why it doesn't often happen to people who break easily, or have sharp edges, or who have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you are real, most of your hair has been loved off, and your eyes drop out and you get loose in the joints and very shabby. But these things don't matter at all, because once you are real, you can't be ugly. Except to people who don't understand. The rabbit sighed. He thought it would be a long time before this magic called real happened to him. Spring came, and the boy began to take the rabbit out into the garden. They had wonderful times. He made tunnels for him under the flower beds, and they played hide and seek. At night, the rabbit slept in the boy's bed, and the boy whispered to him and held him close. Weeks passed, and the rabbit grew very happy, so happy he forgot he was made of velveteen. He was the boy's rabbit now. He felt loved, and that made all the difference. One evening, the boy hugged the rabbit and said, "You're real to me." That night, the rabbit remembered what the Skin Horse had said. He was real, at last. The boy had made him real, not with magic, but with love. But being real wasn't the end of the rabbit's journey. One day, the boy became very ill. It was scarlet fever, and the room where the boy slept was kept dark and quiet. The rabbit lay in the bed with the boy. When the doctor came, he said the rabbit must be burned with all the other contaminated things. He was to be thrown out with the rubbish. The rabbit lay in a sack outside, alone and heartbroken. He thought of all the wonderful times with the boy. A tear trickled down his shabby velvet nose. Then something strange happened. Where the tear fell, a flower grew. And out of it came the Nursery Magic Fairy. "Little rabbit," she said, "you were real to the boy because he loved you. Now you shall be real to everyone." And she kissed him on the nose. The rabbit felt his legs suddenly move. He jumped real jumping and found he had real hind legs, a soft furry body, and real whiskers. He was no longer a toy. He was a real rabbit at last. He joined the wild rabbits in the forest, and though they didn't recognize him, he watched the boy play in the garden. The boy never knew his rabbit had returned, but sometimes he he would see a wild rabbit watching from the edge of the wood and smile, because love had made the rabbit real. Subscribe for more videos and press the bell icon to get new updates. Also like the video and share to your friends.